with, as the title suggests, what is in all likelihood my final stream. The last time I will ever be streaming Jurassic World Evolution. Of course, only time will tell. Let's check the audio. Alright, audio seems to be good. Alright, time to save this. Or, share this, rather. This time I will on stream. Come join me. So, of course, the main reason why this is the last Jurassic World Evolution stream is because Jurassic World Evolution 2 comes out in like 36 hours. A little more than that. A little more like 40. Yeah, more like 40 hours. Maybe a little more. I don't know exactly when it's going to actually drop on Steam and when I'm going to start downloading it. But as soon as I do, I will be putting together a first impressions video. If I am able to stream at that time, I will. If not, I will just record it like I did with Psychonauts 2. Either way, it's happening. My TV is not wanting to cooperate with me. This is kind of annoying. Keep trying to hit the channel button. Here. Put it in here. So I'm still just posting the link and stuff and finished up while y'all watched Giganotosaurus do his thing. No one has joined me yet. So close this. Go ahead and close. And this probably should I? Yeah. Close that definitely. Alright, now I can actually close this. What I was closing there. Alright, so another thing, another announcement, and I will reiterate this later on as well. I'll probably say this a couple times during the stream. Not only is this the last Jurassic World Evolution stream, this is actually kicking off what might be a whole week's worth of content for you guys. I am very busy this week with work. I do work 6 days a week still, but I work entirely at night now. And that might be for that might make for a fun anecdotal story later on. But streaming today, I just finished rendering Quint Part 7 Breakdown. I will be checking that later, and I will be rendering it tonight before I go to work, and I will be scheduling it to premiere tomorrow, probably around 7 a.m. Tomorrow morning is when I'll have it premiere. I want to give it, like, have it come out tomorrow, but early enough to where, well, late enough to where I can actually watch it with you guys after I get home from work, but early enough to where it can have at least like a 12 to 16 hours by itself before I jump into Tuesday's video, which is the Jurassic World Evolution 2 first impressions, and then that's gonna be Tuesday. You know, it could be any time between 2 a.m. If it ends up being just a first impressions video, it'll be later, more like 5 or 6 p.m. probably. And after that, I have another video that shouldn't take very long to edit. I'm gonna actually work on that tomorrow, because Monday's my day off, so I'm gonna actually work on that tomorrow. And then, yeah, there's that. A couple other streams I want to do. I want to knock out Ghost of Tsushima. I want to do a bunch of Jurassic World Evolution 2 stuff when it comes out. You know, just I'm so excited for Jurassic World Evolution 2. In fact, no more dilly dallying. TV, come on. No more dilly dallying. Let's do this. What do I need? What do I want? I got T-Rex, got Velociraptors, I got Deinonychus, got Allosaurus, got Brachiosaurus, Dilophosaurus, Ceratosaurus, yep, Acrocanthosaurus. By the way, Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong is an amazing YouTuber. He takes dinosaur toys and analyzes them, using up-to-date research and stuff. To describe like where the toys are inaccurate, where they're outdated and stuff. He just did a video on a Acrocanthosaurus that just got released a couple days ago, and it is fantastic. He goes so deep into like the proto dinosaurs, which Acrocanthosaurus was. Like, we kind of generally agree was a theropod because it does have some very distinctive theropod features. But, there's other things like its spinal column that's actually much more like other Saurischian dinosaurs, like the prosaur, or like they're not called prosauropods anymore, sauropodomorphs, like Plagiosaurus, which would have came out, which would have, you know, been a little later than that. What all do I still? This park is not going to have every single dinosaur. Like, it's not going to have Indominus. Build something here. I'm trying to think of what I need. Another carnivore. I'm just playing it in my head, like, what all do I have, what all do I need, actually. We got Apatosaurus. Is there a way, I think it's square doing this. I got 44 unique species. 44 species, and there's like 68, so there should be a lot that I don't have. I do not have Acrocanthosaurus. I don't have Albertosaurus. I wish there was a way to see if you have the dinosaurs or not already. Like, I can kind of tell if they have their genome edited. That means I've definitely put them in the park. Let's go with I have all the Pachycephalosaurus except Homalocephaly. I don't think I want a Homalocephaly though. What big carnivore? Acrocanthosaurus. Let's do Acrocanthosaurus. So I'm gonna need a heavy gate right here. And then right next to the ACLU Center. Or AC... Jesus Christ. ACU Center. ACLU is the fucking, like, activist organization. That only occasionally gets things right. They get things right more often than your average lefty organization, but they're still, you know, very communist sympathizer heavy. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to spruce up some of these enclosures. Because I think when I first started designing this park, I did not have nearly as much as I do now, DLC-wise. Like the unique trees, rocks. Velociraptor, Deinonychus, Proceratosaurus, Herrerasaurus, Dilophosaurus. I have every... trying to think. I think I have every... Well, we'll go by type. We'll go by type. Everything except the Compy. As far as small carnivores go. Oh, and Troodon. I don't have Troodon. Let's get a trio of Troodons. We'll do that. We'll go with rainforest. I like the rainforest. Go the default for one and then rainforest for the other two. Alright, so I've gotten some chats. Lackluster asked, favorite superhero? I've been on record numerous times saying that Captain America is my favorite comic book superhero. And I listed out a lot of those reasons in my... What did I end up calling that? My discussion video on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I went on very wide tangents on how much I like Captain America and why a lot of modern day Captain America stories disappoint me and why Falcon and the Winter Soldier did not, which I recently got a comment on that video calling that show ass. I completely disagree. I think the show is really good. If you can tolerate some of the stuff it does, it's great. I have a higher tolerance than a lot of people on the right, but not like the highest level of tolerance when it comes to like Carly Morgenthal's whole deal. I think she was the worst part of that show. Anyway, Captain America, he's my favorite hero. He is just the embodiment of American exceptionalism. He is the kind of hero that you don't see anymore today, including in Captain America comics. You don't see that kind of hero anymore, even in his own freaking book. God, modern comics just suck. Lackluster also asked favorite Ruby character. It's still Weiss. It's still Weiss. I said that during my the honest look at her years ago. I was making that first wave of Honest Looks back in 2017, and my overall opinion of her has not changed too terribly much in the interim.
Request acknowledged. Adding task.
Brett Knight said, "Good morning. Can't you make mutant dinosaurs in this game?" Yes, there are a couple hybrids that you can make. I'm not going to make them in this part because I don't like the hybrid dinosaur thing. I think it a little bit defeats some of the appeal of Jurassic Park, but also the fact that and Jurassic World is very aware of this, where they are all technically hybrids. They are all technically mutant dinosaurs. Like, none of these dinosaurs looked like this. A lot of them would have been feathered. You know, that's the easy one. A lot of them would have been feathered. I might do a little, since this is the last one, I might actually call this park short and go to one of my parks that has all of the dinosaurs and do a little your dinosaurs are wrong. Go dinosaur by dinosaur and be like, all right, so this is the inaccuracies, which the inaccuracies in Jurassic Park, the franchise is just kind of stuck with because it kind of created this own visual identity with how the dinosaurs looked, despite how inaccurate we know that is now. But for the time, for the early 90s,
Asset in transit.
it was pretty damn good. The exception being the Velociraptor, which I'm really liking this idea, so I might start off with Velociraptor when I do that. So I'm gonna get Acrocanthosaurus in here.
Asset delivered.
And then I'll save it, and then I'll start doing that. Because who needs to play a game just live it?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome.
But yes, Radna, you can do there's 5. Because you can do the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World. The Indoraptor from Fallen Kingdom was part of the free DLC.
Confirming task.
For when the movie came out. Then you have Ankylodocus, Stegosaurus, and Spinoraptor, right? Yeah, Spinoraptor. It's either Spinoraptor or Spinotoraptor. I can't remember what they ended up calling it. Of those 5, actually.
Heading to
Alright, so I'm on record of saying that I absolutely despise Fallen Kingdom. With the burning passion. Just the absolutely abysmal film. But I really like, just as a movie monster, I really like the Indoraptor. I think it looks cool.
Transportation underway.
I think it... I like the way it looks like it wants... It acts like it wants to die. Like, it's just such an... It's a great movie monster. Terrible dinosaur. But a great movie monster. Do I have Edmontosaurus at all? Or a Euplocephalus? So I might do that. Torosaurus, Procanthus, the Pentaceratops, Casmosaurus, Sinoceratops. I don't have Styracosaurus, I don't have Euplocephalus either. Yeah, I must have built this park before I did that, so I am going to here I don't have Apatosaurus. Weird, that's one of the early dinosaurs you get in, like... Oh, I do have an Apatosaurus. It's right here. Alright, so I am going to put Apatosaurus into some... The Apatosaurus, Euoplocephalus, and Styracosaurus were all found in, like, the same formation, so I'm going to turn this into that enclosure. I'm sure there's a better way to kind of like do this if you're playing mouse and keyboard. But I have not done much. I do have this game on PC as well because of my birthday stream. Where I was just having a lot of issues with it was PS4 remote play that was giving me grief that time, not my internet. I'm going to change this to a light steel. I do have dinosaur escapes off. Usually heavy steel is my kind of go-to for everything. It's kind of like striking that balance between like cost efficiency and safety. Heavy steel is kind of the way to go. Uh-oh.
Acknowledging asset collection request.
No problem.
Apparently Acrocanthosaurus disagreed with me there. I must have goofed.
Transporting asset.
Shit. Sandbox settings. So disease level, no disease, unlimited, normal. I have it on normal. Habitat requirements, disabled. That's what I need. Because again, I didn't have a lot of these options when I first started making this, so those options were not on. I think Acrocanthosaurus does have one of my favorite kill animations for people. I think yeah, he's done. How many people did you kill there, buddy? He killed 0 people in that time. Guess he was too busy breaking the fuck out.
Confirming asset delivery.
Alright. Put on alright. No. Probably actually needed more. And you're gonna need food. Go ahead and plant a tree, I guess.
Asset transportation in progress.
Let's plant some of these trees. And water. You're gonna need water as well. And you're also gonna need food. This game would not be a challenge if it had the same pause feature as Planet Zoo. Just saying. And Planet Zoo would be absolutely fucking impossible if it didn't have the pause feature like this game does. Alright, so I want... Yeah. So I'm gonna get 2 Styracosaurs and 3 Euoplocephalus. Give one of them a unique pattern. Let's go with courage. Lackluster asked, how about villain? Like comic book villain? I don't know. I've always been very partial to the Riddler. Riddler, Scarecrow. There's a lot of Batman villains I like a lot more than Joker. I think Joker is a little overrated. But anyway, by the way, Apatosaurus is like absolutely huge. Like his arms are like 6 feet tall. Like he's 6 feet tall at the elbow or whatever. Like they are way bigger than elephants. They're one of the bigger hadrosaurs we know about. Brett Knight said, "Oh, and when it comes to Rudy, I found a Rudy Justice League crossover comic at this." I have not sat down and read the Ruby Justice League crossover comic. I have seen some stuff from it, and it is pretty cringe. The bits of it that I've seen. Of course, you know, you gotta take that opinion with a grain of salt. You know, since I haven't actually sat down and read it and given it any thought. Doctor Doom is a good one. Conceptually, I really love Doctor Doom. I love that he is both... He is a dictator, a wizard, and a mad scientist, all rolled up into one. And is also, like, a good leader. Like, he's not incompetent or anything. But that's also kind of my problem with them. I like my characters to be specialized. One of the reasons why I really dig the way One Piece has done things in the past. Of course, the final verdict for whether or not this is something Oda actually intended or not will be when we see Dr. Vegapunk. If Oda wants to stick the landing on this, I think Vegapunk should have a team of scientists. Like, he's the smartest guy in the room, but he could be a jack of all trades and just have, like, everyone else around him specialize in something, or he specializes in something, and everyone else covers for the things he doesn't specialize in. Like, either way either way Oda wants to slice that is fine by me. But, like, when it comes to doctors, you know, doctors are a very important thing in the One Piece world, because there's all sorts of random freaking ailments and diseases and viruses and toxins and all sorts of stuff you can run into in the Grand Line. That is bad juju. Chopper is a great pharmacist. He can take you, he can analyze you, and he can come up with a disease, with a vaccine or treatment for whatever ails you. That's his specialty. He is not a surgeon. When it comes to, like, mending bones and stuff, he just kind of gives people painkillers, wraps them up in a cast, and, like, in Luffy's case, he gives them meat, and in Brook's case, he gives them milk. There's not much that he does. Law, on the other hand, would never, ever be able to find a cure for Queen's Plague. It's just beyond his capabilities as a doctor. He can't, he just doesn't know much about medicine. Because he relies a lot on his double as well. He knows a lot. He was a great doctor, or a great medical student, rather, before he even got his power. But that is a major source of his power is you know, just his double, what his double fruit can do. But he's a great surgeon. He's the best surgeon in the entire series. He can, you know, take you apart, put you back together. Again, a lot of that's thanks to his devil fruit, but he has to know how to do that anyway in order for the devil fruit to work. You know, like patching Zoro up after he, you know, tanked a bunch of blows from Kaido. That was a group effort between Law and Chopper. Law mended his bones, wrapped him up, you know, physically healed him. Chopper gave him the special medicine booster that gave him all of his stamina back and is allowing him to fight King. I love stuff like that.
Collecting asset.
And then, you know, Marco's a pretty good doctor, but he again just kind of relies on the healing property of his flames.
Asset
Got
has
the
been
Phoenix fruit.
transported. En route to pick up the asset.
Anyway, the topic was fucking villains. Yeah, Doctor Doom's up there. As far as Marvel villains, Doctor Doom would probably be number one.
Delivery
Though I
has been
am
completed.
also pretty partial to Red Skull. Obviously, as a Captain America fan, I have to be kind of partial to Red Skull. And I should say pre-Donald Trump era Red Skull. Obviously. So many cool fucking dinosaurs in this thing. God damn. Alright, and with that, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save the This is the free stream, right? Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is it. And then I am going to load. I'm going to load. Full tour. Is that one that has all of them? I'll keep loading random sandbox files until I find one that has all of them. I know that there's like 2 or 3. I know the Time Tour was going to have all of them. I don't know if I ever finished it though. I don't know if I ever finished the Time Tour. Lackluster asked favorite ERB. Probably Michael Jordan versus Muhammad Ali. That's one that like I just know every single word to. There's a couple that I know every single word to, but that one's just like punch after punch after punch after punch, just nonstop. Wait. Hold on.
Acknowledged.
We need water, not food. There's water right here. Get water. Little homocephaly. Are you getting water? Yeah, you're looking for water. Now drink. Drink, you fool. So, this is an AI problem with this game that I noticed. When you have too many dinosaurs, too many species of dinosaurs, some of them will, like, stop being super active, which will then cause them to start, like, starving and stuff. I don't need it anymore. Alright. Now this one's, like, not eating food. Well, that could actually be because... yeah. Reduce that. Yeah. That's another thing. Like, if you have too many dinosaurs and not enough feeders, the feeder will, like, even with infinite feeders, it'll, like, deplete the feeder, and before it reboots, dinosaurs will start to starve. Alright. So then let's see about this. 55 dinosaurs. And there's 60 total? If there's 60 total, 67. So this does not have all of them. What am I missing? We got Baryonyx, Acrocanthosaurus, Acrocanthosaurus, Deinonychus, Velociraptor, T-Rex. They even have Indoraptor and Indominus in here. Herrerasaurus, Dilophosaurus, Proceratosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Allosaurus. Should be Acrocanthosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Gigantosaurus, Brachiosaurus. Yeah, got all those. So I have everything from the herbivore pack. I don't have the. Well, no, that shouldn't account for all of them. Well, it might. Hold on. Let me see. Because I think maybe before last time I updated this. So, Ankylodocus. Then Archaeornithomimus. Because the last thing I got was the deluxe pack. So Archaeornithomimus. I didn't see Compy in there. Obviously, I had it available. Oh, yep, Compy's here. Yep, Compys are with the Iguanodons. And, Polycanthus. Put another thing in here. Where's it at? Enclosures. Feeder. I swear, I've fixed the problems with this park like 5 times. They just must have never saved it. So yeah, because I didn't see Suchomimus either. And that was part of the deluxe edition. So we had Ankylodocus, which I didn't put in here on purpose. Archaeornithomimus. Then Crichtonsaurus. Then Majungasaurus. Spinoraptor. Stegosaurus. And Suchomimus. Those are my missing 7. It's the deluxe edition dinosaurs and the 3 hybrids. Keep that in mind for next time. It's a full tour, right? Yeah. Right? Rat Knight asked, here's a question. One video game you hate the most? That is a loaded question because hate's such a strong word. I typically don't actually hate video games. Well, let's see if Time Tour. No. Nature Reserve was the original one I had. Time Tour? Yeah, it's this one. There's a lot of games I don't like. There's a lot of games I think are really lame. There's a lot of games that I hate with a burning passion, but mostly because people like declare them the pinnacle of video games and they just aren't. Like a lot of Final Fantasy games, a lot of Metal Gear Solid games, Last of Us 2. What are some other ones that I would put up there? I would say Death Stranding, but that game ended up just being a meme, and the game that like a lot of people. Same thing with Last of Us 2. Like a lot of people like Last of Us 2, I'm sure, but the hate for that game was very strong. Okay. Did I ever finish this? I did not. God damn. So, guess Nature Reserve it is. That's when I'm. Shit, it's been so long since I've done that one. I might not have the deluxe zoo. Does zoo have all of them? No, it's got most of them. Damn. Yeah, I'm definitely not done with that. I have things incubating even. This nature reserve. We'll see what that gets me. I'm looking for a 67 out of 67 for genomes for on the hatcheries. Yeah, a lot of games like that. Like, I haven't actually played a lot of bad games overall. Like, a lot of the worst games I've ever played are either, at the very least, functional, like completely functional, or yeah, I guess I would. Yeah, I can't think of like an actual. Like I can think of a couple games that were just jank and brought out the absolute worst in me, but those had things that I liked about them as well. This one is definitely not ready for prime time. But it's at least... View genome library. Okay, this does say 67 out of 67 though. Maybe Brachiosaurus and Troodon are the last ones I needed to get.
Transportation complete.
Let me reduce the time on that. And put it in the carnivores in particular. Is that the smaller carnivores get scared. Wish I knew where I was going to put them. Oh, I know Styracosaurus were... I think they're actually... Well, Stegosaurus is definitely going to go here.
Adding to the list.
Ghost of Tsushima just updated. I want to do this your dinosaurs are wrong thing. I need things to be out and about. That to happen. I put Troodon. Guess I'll just put him in here since there's no small carnivores in here. Ghost of Tsushima's pretty good. You know, I like it a lot. Like it enough to have streamed damn near the entire game at this point. Got about like 2 parts worth left, I think.
collecting assets.
Let's go to all the feeders. Taller herbivore feeders? Are they in the same boat? Do I have that? Not for all of them.
Assets in the air.
Might as well. Why are you not?
Setting additional task. Request acknowledged.
Heading to collect the asset. Request acknowledged. Asset in transit.
not
Delivery
loaded.
has been completed.
I'll actually get started on
Asset
the whole
collection
reason why I
request
came to this
received.
map. Is it would be faster to do it here than to do it elsewhere. I hope I have things like Brachiosaurus. I can just do this, I guess. Yeah, I have Brachiosaurus and all those, so at least I Brachiosaurus for the last one I was needing. Why did I not have Troodon? 'Cause I got Troodon way before I got, you know, the
Asset requiring collection.
Troodon came with the Doctor Wu DLC. I hope if I put down another thing.
Transporting asset.
Infinite letters not enough.
Understood.
I think. Are we ready to do this? Because this isn't underway.
Heading to pick up the
Also,
asset.
no, I'm pretty sure I have the sandbox settings where I want them to be. No other day, no family conditions, no disease, unlimited lifespan, disabled, none, off, dinosaur aggression off, no outages, unlimited cash, no contracts. Alright. I am now ready to do this little your dinosaurs are wrong thing. Trying to think of how I want to do this.
Asset transportation
How long
underway.
have I been going? About an hour. Let's go ahead and start with Stegosaurus. So, the main thing we didn't know about Stegosaurus is that we messed up on compositing the skeleton. So Stegosaurus we know for having these extreme body proportions, it would not have actually had them. It would not have looked much different from other plated Stegosaurus. It was the largest still, but like that high hip bone would not have been that high. It would have been much more would have had much more like this body shape, that more slow, gradual slant. That's the main thing. Yeah, I don't have all the papers here, so We're just giving you some brief stuff. Gallimimus would have absolutely been feathered. Common problem with all these dinosaurs. They're not feathered, and they pronate their hands
Asset
downwards.
delivery confirmed.
Theropods would not have pronated their hands downwards. They would have had them at their sides, because they were grasping claws. I don't actually know much about Gigantus Spinosaurus, so I don't know how accurate this is. Pentaceratops seems pretty accurate to what I know. That long of legs. I know it's known for being very tall for a ceratopsid. One of the reasons why it got into this game. Brontosaurus looks pretty good. Probably a little too big. Crest shape is a little off. We don't actually know much about Brachiosaurus. We do know now that Dracorex, Digimoloch, and Apatosaurus were all the same genus. And possibly the same species. Just in different growth stages. Another common problem with all the hadrosaurs is that they would not have walked on two legs all that often. They were too heavy. They would have been able to rear up for trees and stuff, but they would have much preferred the quadrupedal stance. I had actually never heard of Homocephaly before this game. So I don't know much about it. Your dinosaurs are wrong. I have not done a video on it, obviously. I haven't done one on Acrocanthosaurus either. I think they found Polycanthus. Spikes might be a little much on this one. Thinking Montosaurus looks reasonable. Triceratops looks reasonable. They're very slight body changes. Mamenchosaurus, so Mamenchosaurus probably would have had a more horizontal neck position. We don't really know about his neck posture. This goes for a lot of sauropods, actually. Because the spinal column seems to favor a horizontal position, but as these are all related to birds, they have the S-curve. We know that they have the S-curve because of where the neck connects to the skull. And it would have favored the vertical stance if that were the case. Who's dying now? Compy again?
Confirming task.
Okay. Anything else in this enclosure? Apatosaurus, formerly Brontosaurus. The head shape is all wrong. It would have had a much more skull shape would have been similar to a horse. So yeah, this is a very outdated sauropod, kind of the type species, but a very dated one. Torosaurus. I actually really like it. The dermal plating probably a little speculative there, but it helps differentiate it from Triceratops. Yeah, it was suspected that Torosaurus and Triceratops might be the same thing, but further evaluation of their frills and the density of their frills proved that they were different genuses. Nitrosaurus, I don't know much about him. He is a chonker. I do know the head shape is accurate. That's what he's mostly known for. Stegosaurus, don't know much about you. Or no, this is a Laura Titan. I know even less about you. Actually, that's not true. I know more about Laura Titan. I love the crest colorings. Because again, these were all related to birds, so a lot of them should be brightly colored. Even the ones, you know, like Nitrosaurus here. Nothing too terribly wrong with these that I'm aware. Brachiosaurus's head is a little off from what I was seeing in my book. Brachiosaur. So, fun thing about Brachiosaurus is that we don't actually have a Brachiosaurus skull. We have fragments, but not a full skull.
Adding task.
What Brachiosaurus is based on is actually its African cousin, Giraffatitan, which had an identical ecological niche, lived around the same time, just somewhat different common. And we do see a lot of similarities between stuff that was found, you know, alongside Brachiosaurus and stuff that was found alongside Giraffatitan. But it is very speculative to just, you know, make Brachiosaurus look like Giraffatitan. The head crest might not have been much of a crest. It might have just been an attach point for a huge honking nose. Yeah, that's speculative. We don't even have a full skull, let alone soft tissues. Iguanodon. This is actually a fairly accurate iguanodon. He walks mostly on all fours. He's got the beak. He's got the right number of fingers and toes, I think. I think. Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong do have a video on this. And Chasmosaurus, nothing wrong there. Well, nothing major, anyway. Again, like with all these, I'm sure there's inaccuracies. I'm sure most of them are too big. Because they, you know... If they have to scale the stuff for the movies, and, you know... Easy way to do that, make them too big. Their tail should maybe be a little more rigid. That just might be his feeding animation. Feeding animation being kind of... Alright. Stegosaurus is one of the ones that I don't like. It would not have holes in its frill. Those holes are... Like, the frills and display structure, so it should be even much more elaborately colored and stuff. And there would be skin there. Look at Torosaurus. Torosaurus also had holes in its frill, and look how they did that. Where, yeah, it's skin there. You clearly see the ridge marks for the bone, but it has skin there. It's a display structure. There's no reason why Sinoceratops should be reconstructed with holes in its head. Now, this is not this game's fault. This is Fallen Kingdom's fault. The people who designed all the new dinosaurs for Fallen Kingdom, this was, you know, one of them. It came into this game with the so it should also be a little more splayed. It's got these feet are entirely too elephantine. Most Ceratopsids that had very what's the word that they use for primitive now? Less derived feet, like I think you can. Acrocanthosaurus doesn't really have. Acrocanthosaurus kind of has a elephantine feet too. I think Pentaceratops has the best feet of the dinosaurs, of the ceratopsids. See how it's got like kind of the splayed toe, like it's walking on its toes. That's how ceratopsids walked. They weren't elephants, you know. They were actually very closely related to these guys and these guys. So like these forearms that I guess actually Stegosaurus, now that I'm looking at him, that just has human hands. That might be because he was practical in Lost World, where he made his debut. But yeah, they should have more like those kinds of forearms. These were all the hybrids, so I'm not going to talk about those. Spinotoraptor does look the coolest out of the hybrids. It looks like, you know, you can tell it's a Spinosaurus and a Velociraptor, but it also looks like a real thing. It doesn't look like, you know, Stegoceratops looks straight up like someone just cut off the Stegosaurus's head and stuck a Triceratops head on it, and then added a bunch of extra horns to look edgy. Ankylodocus looks good. Look at his face. Come on. It's got like the derpiest face, and you can't really, other than the club tail, you can't even tell that it's an Ankylosaurus. Like, where's the Diplodocus? You can see that earlier. I think it's in here. Nitrosaurus. Yeah, a lot of Morrison formation dinosaurs. A lot of Morrison formation sauropods. We don't actually know, like Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, Camarasaurus. We don't have enough information to go on as far as like distinguishing them. Diplodocus, like this, okay, so this head shape on Diplodocus is good. This is what Apatosaurus' head should look more like. Is it the compies again? It is the compies again. Jesus Christ.
Adding to the list.
Indoraptor. I love that quadruped. You can't really tell that it's supposed to be T-Rex and the Velociraptor with significantly more Velociraptor. Like it's 1/4. It's supposed to be 1/4 T-Rex and 3/4 Raptor. But it just looks like a good, cool, well-designed monster, but it's still just a monster. Big Eye Indominus. Again, you know, it's just a monster, not even a real dinosaur. I'll do these ones first. Alright, Velociraptor. Absolutely would have had feathers. Would have been like a third of the size. Would have had a much longer snout. So in the book, there's actually a reason for this. So, Michael Crichton in the book, I'm actually going to go into capture mode. That way time freezes. And I can... Alright. So, in the book, they name it Velociraptor. And Alan, I think it's Dr. Grant, asked the very important question, how do you know? How do you know it's Velociraptor? And that's a good question. I mean, how would they know based on like DNA that they get from amber, from mosquitoes fossilized in amber? How would you know what you're working with before the egg hatches? And the answer to that question, like, oh, we found the amber dates back to the late Cretaceous and it was found in Mongolia. And from there we can extrapolate based on the sickle claw that's Velociraptor. Then Grant is like, this looks too big, and he kind of just writes it off as these are theme park monsters. This is the frog DNA. For some reason, mutate the raptor to just be that much larger. But it really goes to show that the people in Jurassic Park, the people making the park, didn't really know what they were doing. All adds to the theme of like, they didn't stop and think whether or not they should. And to that end, Crichton actually based Velociraptor on... Let me find... Deinonychus. So, Deinonychus in this game has a crest for no reason. Should not have a crest. It has the wrong shaped skull. This skull should be identical to the Velociraptors in this game. They're not identical to what Velociraptors really look like. And once again, it should have feathers. We actually do have feathers preserved on Deinonychus. It would have had a full fluffy coating. And then it also has the common problems like it's pronating its hands downwards. It would have to actually break its wrist to maintain that pose. All that good stuff. It's a little too big, I think, as well. A little more like Utahraptor size. Then Majungasaurus, you can tell by the short face. Arms are too big, actually. Like, those look like stubby arms, but Apatosaurus would have had their arms were basically vestigial. Like they made T-Rex look like The Rock. Acrocanthosaurus, I guess this is a fine enough version. It's very Megalosaurus-y. Acrocanthosaurus is one of those dinosaurs that we just kind of lumped in with Megalosaurus for a long time. I do like that the hands are almost in the right position. But there's so little fossil evidence for Acrocanthosaurus. We can't even actually identify it as its own genus. Going back here, T-Rex probably would have been fuzzy, at least in its youth. Jurassic Park is actually really good about this, especially with the herbivores. Let me go back to the herbivores real quick. Find one that's in the show, or in the movie. Where the Brachiosaurus has a little bit of shrink wrapping now that I'm looking at it like this. A little bit of shrink wrapping going on around the eyes. But shrink wrapping is something that happens in misguided reconstructions where they just kind of like take the skeleton and slap skin on it. There is a little bit of that in a lot of the carnivores, T-Rex in particular. You can see like the eye ridges, the kind of like how no, center screen right now, there would actually be a little more meat there, probably. T-Rex also probably would have had lips. It would not leave its teeth exposed like this. That's a little speculative. Actually, this model T-Rex does actually have lips. They're just not like full lips, like we're theorizing that they did, that they had. And again, you know, arms pronated downwards, and wouldn't have been able to do that. Same thing with Apatosaurus, which would have actually been fuzzy. Other than that, you know, Apatosaurus is just a smaller T-Rex with eyebrow ridges. This another Albertosaurus? Yeah. I had two in here. Dreadnoughtus, I honestly don't know why they were Dreadnoughtus and not like Titanosaurus or Saltosaurus or Patagotitan or Supersaurus. This face is also kind of just derpy. Anyway, Crodon. So apparently, oh, there's also Compies in there. Compies would have looked like little fuzzy birds with teeth. Apparently Crodon isn't a viable genus anymore. Got roped in with the Stegosaurus, I think? I don't know, but it would have had feathers. I think the neck might not be long enough as well. Yeah. We just, you know, it happens sometimes. Find more evidence, and whatever got named first kind of takes precedent, even if the second name is more popular, which I think is BS. I think whatever the more widely accepted name is should supersede whoever named it first. Especially since we named dinosaurs off so scant little evidence, like Stegosaurus, roofed lizard, was named just for the plates. Like, I can't remember if it was Marsh or Cope found the plates during the Bone Wars, and the Morrison Formation was just like, Stegosaurus. Giganotosaurus. Apparently this guy's going to be in the new movie as a major threat. Looking forward to that. Basically just supersized Allosaurus. And Allosaurus is my favorite dinosaur. So, Ceratosaurus. Reasonable. It has a lot of the same flaws as a lot of the other carnivores, you know, pronated hands. Not sure if the dermal spikes are terribly reasonable. Proceratosaurus would have absolutely had feathers. Despite its name, it is not closely related to Ceratosaurus. It is a coelosaur. It is actually more closely related to T-Rex. And they are actually the group of dinosaurs most closely related to birds. Coelosaurs include Tyrannosaurs, Dromaeosaurids, a couple other families of dinosaurs. The Megaraptorids, or Maniraptorids. The Maniraptorids, which includes like Therizinosaurus. I think Dilophosaurus is in here too. Yeah, Dilophosaurus, for once, would have actually been a lot bigger. Also, the poison frill is something that Mike Crichton just completely made up. 100%. Yeah, Acrocanthosaurus. Acrocanthosaurus looks pretty reasonable. Again, like hands are almost right. It's got the hunchback. That's his main defining feature. I think it bored everyone to sleep. My dinosaur talk. I think I'm actually gonna call it, or Imperator Draken asked, can you believe people out there coping about Eternals? I have not seen Eternals. I don't like the comics. I don't like the characters. I think it's the worst thing Jack Kirby ever did, and I don't have much interest in the movie. I will watch it just because I am still invested in the MCU, and Eternals are kind of a big deal lore-wise. But they are only a big deal lore-wise. They are not good characters. They have never been well written. They have never been well received. Oh, I never did the Spinosaurus. Yeah, I'll watch Eternals eventually. Spinosaurus is one that has actually changed a lot over the years. Sand would be kind of wonky. Tail would be completely flat, like a fin. It would have actually been quadrupedal. But for 2001, this is very, very good Spinosaurus for 2001. For what we were thinking Spinosaurus looked like, this was actually one of the more accurate dinosaurs in all of Jurassic Park. Too bad this the one has changed the most since then. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a day there. Reminder that I'm posting Quintessential Breakdown Part 7 tomorrow, and then Jurassic World Evolution 2. Looking forward to it.